What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri's home for a new daily news video. Adzic, save us. Maybe a little bit out of context, but right now we are in an injury crisis and we need to resolve that. And Motta needs to work his magic right now because we are entering a very tough period already of our season, and it's only the beginning. But I'm gonna talk about why he's gonna need to work his magic. Before we do that, as always, smash the like button. I know it's not transfer season, so people are not waiting on daily videos every single day. However, let's push to at least 100 likes. Also, I will be live on Sunday because I couldn't make it on Friday. I was still traveling. So Sunday, back normal settings with a live show, and then next week it's game week again. But yeah, let's talk about it because we have some problems. It's only fitting that we signed two wingers and the two wingers pick up an injury. Now, for Conceição, it's a bigger injury because he's out probably a month or so, including these 2 weeks of international break, let's say 4 weeks or so. For Gonzalez, it's a toss-up, apparently he's okay, but then you have reports where he's not 100% okay, so on, so on. So we just need to assume he's going to miss the Empoli game, for the sake of it, he's going to miss that game. Then you have Timothy Weah, who should be back for Empoli, like Thuram, who should be back for Empoli, in which capacity, we don't know right now. Then you're back to square one. Right now, you're back to square one, where we have Mbangula, who did well at the start of the season. And I know people are like, okay, that Roma game wasn't good. Again, I was at that Roma game, and we need to be fair. If you watch a game on TV, and I've said it many times when I go to a game, it's different than you watch live. Because on TV, and I rewatched it a little bit because I wanted to be sure that you couldn't see those things, Mbangula had a poor game. I thought Cambiasso had a poor game against Roma as well, but not because of his individual qualities, but because he wasn't getting involved, because they were open. Same as Mbangula, that was not the issue. They were not involved because of different issues, because what Roma were doing, so you can't assume that, okay, he had a poor game, that means he's not ready. And Mbangula's not ready, we cannot play him. Adzic is the other one. He got a lot of hype in preseason. With hype, I mean every single report out there suggested that Motta really, really likes him. He's technically very good. He's extremely strong, apparently. Physically he doesn't look like a kid. Those are the reports that he can play, big boy football already. And that Motta was extremely excited to use him in different positions. Because right now you can say he can play. I've seen people say he can play as an 8, he can play as a winger, he can play as a number 10, so on, so on. So we don't know what the idea right now is. And he is back from injury. And I feel a little bit for him because if that injury didn't occur, the way the season panned out at the start of the season, the first 3 games, he would have played. And maybe we would have had a better, not maybe, we would have had a better idea, okay, what type of player he is right now. But the title is Save Us, because we are in a situation right now where we are going to need to look at players like Adzic, players like Mbangula to quote-unquote save us, and Motta will need to work his magic because we come back and we have Empoli, we have PSV, we have Napoli. Like, the season kicks off, really. Right now, it's really kicking off, and that's why I always said that when you get your players in late, and the injuries are, I want to say a one-off, but they're not a one-off with us. But you cannot predict the injuries. We could have got Conceição and Gonzalez in at the start of August, and they could have picked up an injury as well and would have been out for a month. We don't know right now. But the issue right now is that we cannot see what Motta really wants. We can see it, but not in full effect, because there's always something. Then it's Thuram who's out. Then it's Timothy Weah. Then you can buy Conceição, who plays well against Roma. He's out. You bring in Gonzalez, who just got a couple of garbage time minutes, to be honest, but still, he apparently is not 100% fit. You cannot really say, okay, we're gonna throw you in from minute 1. So that is the frustrating part, but there is no time. That's why I was always hammering on the transfer window, like, get it done as soon as possible. Now you need to bring these players in right now. Do it now. And it was waiting for a lot of circumstances. But when it happens with too many players, that was my issue with the transfer window. I was like, okay, one, but if it's too many key players, not bench players, like squad players, like actually key players, then it becomes an issue. Because right now you need to go away to Empoli, a game we should be winning. You know, they're not a team you can mug off easily, Empoli. I'm not saying that, but you should be winning away to Empoli. But you need to rely on Imbangula again, you know, which I think he will deliver, by the way. I don't think it will be much of an issue. But in an ideal world, you have your main guys there. And that's not it. That's why we are going to need Motta's magic again. We're going to need to see real coaching to get us out of certain situations, even the Champions League games. You know, we need real coaching where you scheme players in the best way possible. For example, Cambiasso, who I know the joke is out there, he can play every position, and he can play, and he's excellent. You know, if you watch him for Italy yesterday, he was brilliant again. You know, he's a very good player. He's a versatile player, but in certain positions he plays better, you know. And now you have a decision to make, you know, because Savona has played very well. Defensively, he's very good. Offensively, he's not Cambiasso. But you rather have a natural player in that position where Cambiasso played as a winger rather than play Cambiasso there. That's me. But now you're in a situation where the wingers are quote unquote injured, not fit. So are you going to push Cambiasso again in that position? That will give you something, but it'll take away quite a lot, in my opinion. So that's why Motta Magic, Adzic is the latest name. Is he going to be fit? He's training, you know, he's training. And if he trains well, you can bet your money on it that Motta will give him an opportunity. He will give him a chance. If somebody plays well, he will give him a chance. I think the only guy right now, not the only one, but like up front department where you can pinpoint, or the two who are going to start, are Locatelli and Koopmeiners. And probably Vlahovic because he's not for international duty. But Koopmeiners is stayed. He's not with the Dutch national team. So he's going to play. Locatelli is going to play. Vlahovic is going to play. And then it's, okay, what are you going to do right now? Are you going to play Savona? Are you going to play Cambiasso? He's going to need to scheme it. He's going to need to scheme it. It's not an easy situation. That's why I made that video early on this week where the media were coming for Motta, and somebody said in the comments, "Oh, I think you're overreacting." I wasn't agreeing. I was reacting to the media is overreacting, and some fans will be carried away with that. They will go into the Empoli game, or they will go to mid-October, and if they don't see champagne football, they will pop. Which is weird because Motta doesn't deliver champagne football. He plays a very effective type of football, which is good to see, by the way. It's not set up with 10 at the back and win it, you know, on the counter. That effective type of football, it's different. However, that is a point that we need to talk about. You know, the media will put pressure, and the pressure will be on for Motta. You know, they don't care about you got the players in late. They don't care about, oh, you had injuries. They don't give two, you know, what's about that. They just want results. They want to jump on Motta's back saying, you know what? It was much, much better with Allegri. That's what they want to do. That's what they will always do. So we need to be careful with that. However, right now, it is up to Motta. He's going to need to scheme something. He's going to need to find a solution to kind of cover up the issues with injuries, and also the issues with, okay, we didn't have time to integrate all these players in at once. It needs time. He's going to need to find short-term solutions, you know, to benefit the long-term future of the club, but of his future at the club, and as well as the players, you know. But yeah, Adzic is one of them, you know, praised, not with the next gen, still with the first team. So assuming we're going to see something, and he can be one of those wildcard players where you're like, okay, he can play different roles, and he does that brilliantly, and you can sit back and you're like, okay, if we have an injury, it's okay. You know, we have a player who's, yeah, young and raw, but he can deliver on the day. So let's see. Let's see. It's coming closer. You know, the season actually finally kicks off. You know, the preseason, fine. First 3 game, international break. Ridiculous that this early on in the season. However, it's there. And now we move. We move to actually the fun part of the season, also for the channel, because I know right now, international break, it's boring. But once the season actually kicks off, you know, forget about transfer news. It's more about, okay, games, and we have something to talk about, you know, which I'm looking forward to. But that's it for me, people. Hit the like button. Let's get to at least 100. Subscribe to the channel. I will be back, normal settings, starting from tomorrow with a live show, because I promised that. So I'll be back live tomorrow, normal time, 10 o'clock p.m. European time. And yeah, thanks for watching. Speak to you guys soon. Ciao.